Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome to our topic about the application of conic sections. So this is our last topic about conic sections, starting from the circle, parabola, ellipse, and hyperbola. So this is the reason why we are discussing the conic sections, so that you will know asa din siya na to pwede magamit. So for the outline of our lesson this morning, okay, we have to recognize the equation by inspection, just like what we discussed in the first meeting, and solve situational problems involving the conic section. So let's have a short review first kung saan nato pag-identify ang equation by inspection. So I hope you will answer this one. Okay, we have the first equation, 5x squared minus 3y squared plus 10x minus 12y equals 22. Okay, inspect the equation. So since naka-general form man siya, we will just use the previous guide kung saan nato pag-identify ang conic section. So first, identify nimo kung naa ba si x squared o si y squared. Naa, diba? Correct. So check. So we'll ask again, are the signs of x squared and y squared are the same? So since dili man siya the same, the other one is negative, the other is positive. So this conic section is most likely a hyperbola. Next, 2y squared minus 5x minus 12y equals 17. So ato na pong tanawon kung present ba si x squared o si y squared. So as you can see, only y squared is present. So kung inana ang ato ang case, the equation is a parabola. Okay, we have third equation. 3x squared plus 3y squared plus 42x minus 12y equals negative 154. So notice that x squared and y squared are both present. They also have the same sign, which is positive. And lastly, they have the same coefficient, which is 3. Therefore, our conic section is a circle. Another one, 3x squared plus 6x plus 4y equals 18. Okay, what do you think is the answer? Again, if we are going to inspect the equation, only x squared is present, wala si y squared. So, kung isa lang gani ang present, either x squared or y squared lang ang present. So, this is a parabola. Last equation, I think second to the last. 7x squared plus 3y squared minus 14x plus 12y equals negative 14. What do you think? Okay. Since they have the same coefficient, the same sign, and x squared and y squared are both present, but lahi-lahi sila o coefficient. So this equation is an ellipse. Last example, negative 4x squared plus 3y squared plus 24x minus 12y equals 36. So, present si si x squared o si y squared, but they have different coefficient and different signs. So our equation is a hyperbola. So now that we know, now that you have recalled the basis of identifying the conic section by inspection, so let's proceed to situational problems involving different conic sections. So you can see in the picture, this is very famous in the Philippines. It is a bridge, the San Monico Bridge connecting Samar and Leyte. So, in the construction of this bridge, there are many conic sections applied in here para lang strengthen ang foundation sa atong bridge. So, we can see there the downward hyperbola here, the bit. So, and others, no? And others. Okay, let's proceed to our first problem. A street with 2 lanes, each 10 feet wide, goes through a semicircular tunnel with a radius 12 feet. How high is the tunnel at the edge of each lane? So round off to 2 decimal places. So para masabtan na to ang problem, ato lang din siyang i-illustrate. So to be clear, we'll use our Cartesian plane in illustrating this one. So let's have a Cartesian plane. Okay, don't forget to draw the x and y plane. Okay, have the calibration para specific ang imuhang figure. So since semicircular tunnel man siya, radius 12 feet, so mag-end siya dili Okay, so 12, 12, and 12. Okay, so diri sa tunnel, sa tunga sa tunnel, na daw tayo lane, 2 lanes nga 10 feet ang kalabton sa kada lane. So we have 10 feet to the left and 10 feet to the right. So we have 10 and negative 10 as our endpoints of the lanes. So ang pangutana na karon, isa do kataas ang tunnel at the edge. So sa tumoy sa lane. So we are looking for this length. This is denoted by point P. This point P has the coordinates 10y. Pwede mo po kamo gamit din ang point. The coordinates is negative 10y, but we will use the side kay positive. So based on our equation of the circle, if you can still remember, the center is at the origin and the radius is 10. So we will use equation x squared plus y squared equals our r squared. So para makita nato ang value ni y, we will just substitute this value, 10y. So 10 squared plus y squared equals 12 squared, and then evaluate the equation. You have this one. Okay, and there you have it. Our value of y is 2 square root of 11, or approximately 6.63 feet. So ang katason ti ay sa tunnel gikan sa edge, at the edge of each lane is 6.63 feet, or 2 square root of 11. Okay, easy. So this one, tama? Let's proceed to problem number 2. A satellite dish has a shape called a paraboloid, where each cross-section is a parabola. Since radio signals, which is parallel to the x-axis, so kani siya, this is the radio signal, parallel siya sa axis na to, it will bounce off the surface, as you can see in this figure here. This is the focus. So the receiver should be placed at the focus. So kay mo-bounce mo na ang surface sa dish padong dito sa focus. So ang receiver, dito dapat siya ibutang sa focus. So how far should the receiver be from the vertex? If the dish is 12 feet across, so kani 12 siya 12 feet daw ani ang iyang kalap doon. So naatay cross section sa atong parabola, and 4.5 feet iyahang kalawon. Okay. So recalling the properties of parabola, since our parabola is opening upward, ang atong gamiton na equation is si x dapat ang naay squared. Remember? So since we are at the center, at the origin, so kani atong gamiton na formula. X squared is equal to 4cy, where c is the distance from the focus to the vertex. So mo na siya atong pangitaon. So saan mo ito papangita? C. Okay. So we will utilize the point here, the point on the parabola, which is 6 and 4.5. So asa talikan og 6. Okay. Notice that, diba, ang ato ang length sa parabola is 12 feet across. So since ato siya gi-divide, no? So 6 sa left and negative 6 sa right and negative 6 sa left. So we have the coordinates here, 6 and 4.5. So asan po tagikan og 4.5? It is stated in the problem that the dish is 4.5 feet deep at the vertex. So we will utilize the point 4.5 to find the value of c. Okay, just substitute, simplify, and now you can find the answer that it's equal to 2. So equal na ay siya sa 2. So the distance between the focus and the vertex should be 2 feet away from each other para gid maka-receive siya sa radio signals. Okay, now let's proceed to our third problem. A tunnel has the shape of a semi-ellipse that is 15 feet high at the center and 36 feet across at the base. At most, how high should the passing track be if it is 12 feet wide for it to be able to fit through the tunnel? So round off your answer to 2 decimal places. Okay, so this is just similar to the previous example in problem 1. So again, first you're going to construct the semi-ellipse in the Cartesian plane with the center at the origin. So we will draw now a semi-ellipse 15 feet high since 36 feet across at the base, so it means that 36 feet is the length of our major axis. So, tungaan na to siya, 36 divided by 2, so 18 to the right, 18 to the left. So, your semi-ellipse looks like this in the figure. So, let's assume that there is a track. Okay, muna siya ang track. Mamuagi sa tunnel nga naa siya 12 feet na kalap doon. So, we divide also the 12 feet into 2, 6 feet to the right and 6 feet to the left. So, how high sa dapat katason ang track para makaagi siya sa tunnel? Okay, so since our ellipse is in horizontal, we assume the equation that we're going to use is that x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared is equal to 1. So, dako dapat ang denominator ni x. Because remember, in ellipse, a is always greater than b and c. So, plugging in this information, na natin solution. Okay, by the way, mo din na siya itong pitaon, si y. So, we have a certain point in there. We have 6y. Okay, so we have x squared over 18 squared. So, if you are wondering where did we get 18, we just divide the major axis into 2. So, that's why we have 18 plus y squared over 15 squared equals 1. Okay, substitute our 6 and y. So, since we're looking for y, we'll just operate the equation, simplify, evaluate. Okay, so we have y squared equals 200. So, y is equal to square root of 200, and that is approximately 14.14 feet. So the height, the maximum height of the track that can pass by through the semi-ellipse tunnel is 14.14. Okay. Kaya pa. Now, let's proceed to our last problem. The design layout of a cooling tower is shown for this one. This is our cooling tower. Na siya sa mga nuclear power plants. It is used to cool the na lang sa yun. The tower stands 179.6 meters tall. The diameter of the top is 72 meters. At their closest, the sides of the tower are 60 meters apart. So, find the equation of the hyperbola that models the sides of the cooling tower. So, sides, or look at the sides. And that side, this one, those sides are hyperbolic in form. Okay. So, as our solution, hindi mataklaro. Let's move a bit the screen. Okay. So, we assume that the center of the hyperbola indicated by the intersection of dashed perpendicular lines in the figure is the origin of the Cartesian plane. Okay. Kaning na ay green nga dashed line. So, we assume. So, if that is the case, we will know already that our hyperbola is horizontal orientation. So, when you say horizontal orientation, the x will come first. Now, the x variable will come first. So, we'll use the equation x squared over a squared minus y squared over b squared equals 9. So, mag-una atong pagin ni x. Okay? So, sa hyperbola, if you can remember, lahi po ng iyahang principle. Kung unsay mauna nga variable which is positive, mauna siya orientation sa atong hyperbola. So, kung y ang mag-una, y over a squared minus x squared over b squared, so that is vertical. But since since hyperbola nato is horizontal man, as illustrated in the figure, so this is in horizontal form. So, since the question requires us to find the equation, ang ato lang pangitaon ani is si a squared o si b squared. So, we will find first a. So, as you can see, given 60 meters daw ang closest distance nila, which is it happens to be the center of our hyperbola. So, the transverse axis is equal to 60. And take note that transverse axis is equal to 2a. So we will just divide transverse axis by 2 to get the value of A, and that is 30. So kung square na to sa 30, that is equal to 900. So nanatay